Hello, everybody. Welcome to a Facebook Live with Jeannie. I am Jeannie Nielsen, the Card Lady, and I'm very excited to be here with you today. I am going to see if I can find myself online so I can keep up with comments while I'm doing this. Today is my craft along. We're doing it with Christmas Friends. I collaborated with a couple of my fellow demonstrators, and we came up with this great class for you. For everybody that did it ahead of time, they are getting a roll of this basic white ribbon. They're getting half a pack of the Take a Bow DSP, and they are getting, what did we do for that? Oh, the red and white peppermints, of course. How could I have forgotten? I'm going to see if I can find myself so that I can keep up with comments this time. We'll see if we can see myself live. Wouldn't that be cool? Aha, I can. Oh, and Lori's watching. Yay, Lori. I'm so excited to see you. I will try to keep up with comments. Hi, Vicki. How are you? I'm going to see you in a couple of weeks, and I'm very excited about it. Vicki, I think I saw you online with Judy Tuttle before. This is going to look very similar. Isn't that funny? We'll see if we did things a little bit differently, but Judy is one of the demonstrators I collaborated with. So I'm so excited to see you, Vicki. Welcome, Lori. Welcome to everybody. Thank you for joining me. I'm very excited. I'm going to flip down and start because I think this is going to take just about an hour because there is a lot of coloring involved. I did do some stuff ahead of time just to get ahead of the game, but I think, okay, let's put bets on how much or who thinks I'm going to forget more than one thing and have to go out of my way away from here to get it. Anybody? Who thinks I'm going to forget more than 3 things? So we're going to see how much we do. Leave me a comment. I'm going to try and stay current with them. My son said I don't engage enough. So let's see what I can do. Okay, I'm going to flip down so you can see the cards and the projects. Now we collaborated to bring this great class to you. You can still get this as a card class to go just by placing an order in my store. I'll give you the link after the Facebook Live because I'm not fancy enough to give it to you right off the bat. But I'm going to show you these great cards and let's get going. Okay, so I'm going to go up to go down. There we go. There we go. Okay. So here we have my desk. It's about the cleanest place in the room right now. I really do try to keep up with things. But so this is my first craft along. Judy and Monica have done this before. This is my first craft along and we all collaborated. We came up with a couple of designs and I'm hoping that you're going to be able to see them. Now why? Oh, I'm a little bit behind watching myself here. I can see. But well, I'm trying to keep myself so that I can see what's going on. This is kind of hard. I'm not very good at this, but we're going to try. Okay, so the Christmas Friends is this great stamp set. You've got your fun owl, the wise old owl. He should have glasses, I think. But anyway, you've got your bear. You've got your moose with his festive scarf on. And you've got the quarreling mouse. So I have a project to show you with all 4 of these. Aren't these so cute? This card here is a gift card holder. I'm going to show you how to make that. Very easy. We've got this owl card. And just to step it up a little bit, I decided that I wanted to make it a fancy fold card. So look what I did. So this is our fancy fold card. Really easy to do, and I'll talk you through it. And of course, this moose, just love this moose. He's so fun. And then of course, the last thing is this treat box. And I have this great thing. I got this treat box in a swap, not this particular one, but a treat box in a swap. And what they did was they put a dimensional here. And because you've got the tear and tape here, you're not going to be able to, it's almost like a temporary adhesive type of thing. So isn't that fun? And then of course we had to fill it with candy kisses. chocolate kisses. I wanted the candy cane kisses, but for once, and believe me, I think this is the first time, I don't think that we have any Christmas candy in the store yet. Hi, Judy. Aren't they such fun cards? They're so beautiful, so pretty. Okay, so let's get going on this class because it's going to take me a while, okay? I've already prepped stuff. I've got measurements so that I can share it with you guys. The first card I'm going to take, let's see what it is. The first card is going to be the owl. Okay, the owl was one of my cards, so I should be able to talk you through it, right? Let's see. So for the card base, we actually have a 5.5 by 8.5 inch piece of cardstock that's just cut in half. So it's like a regular card, but it's cut in half. So you have a front and a back, okay? So that's going to be 4.25 by 5.5. You need 2 pieces of that. The next layer, and I'm going to put this on the card front, is my brick, no, it's not brick, my birch embossed piece of cardstock. Now, if you don't have the birch folder yet, it's one of these great big folders. Isn't that so fun? Hi, Rose. So lovely to see you. Are you impressed that I'm kind of multitasking? We'll see how this is going to go. This may be a gigantic flop because I don't do 2 things well at the same time. But anyway, for this birch folder, you can cut a whole bunch of a very large piece of cardstock if you want. Obviously, you can make sure it's going to be whatever orientation you want. Because of this card, I'm going to do it so that I did it so that it was sideways. So I put it in my folder like this and ran it through the embossing folder. Okay, so let me get this out of the way and let me glue this onto my card front. So this, like I said, is a 4 by 5.25 inch piece of embossed paper with the birch folder. This is one of our new folders this year, and for Christmas, I'm just loving it. Trying to see. Thank you, Rose. I think they are super adorable too. How can you have an adorable stamp set and not have adorable cards though? I was going to dress up my nails with some rhinestones because I didn't get my nails done for this. Sorry about that. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, and I just realized the first thing that I'm going to, oh, maybe not. Well, it's by accident, but I was going to say the next thing that I was going to do was cut my designer paper here. You're going to want a multi-directional designer paper so that it doesn't matter if one is upside down or not. Kind of make figure out what you're going to do. Maybe this would have been better. I kind of did do it a little bit sideways, but that's okay. What I'm going to do is cut this on the diagonal, and that's going to give me this card here. So I'm going to do it from the top right corner to the bottom left corner. And what you have to do for this is put it in your trimmer, just like this. I said the top right corner and the bottom left. I almost did it backwards. If you do it the other way, your card is just going to have the DSP instead going this way. So if you do it from the top right to the bottom left, it'll be just like my card. You do it the other way, it'll be the other way. And you're going to be able to make 2 cards at the same time out of this. So I have both of the points in the track, and I'm just going like that. And voila, we have our piece of designer paper here. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is just glue this down. Oh boy. See, now it wouldn't really work with the stripes here. It's a little busy and the stripes are a little bit off. So make sure that when you pick your designer paper, you pick something that has a design that can go any direction. And I should tell you, the Take a Bow paper has lots of these small prints, so you should be able to do that pretty easily. Okay, so I just attached this just like that. The next thing I'm going to do is take out some of my already die cut pieces. I'll tell you what you need when you're die cutting. Oh, I just realized something else I need. You know what? Let me start. I'm going to start for a second, and I'm going to show you what you need very quickly. We are going to stamp. I forgot that I wanted to stamp. I have my stamps here. look at this. I have my blends already ready to go. I have my stamps here ready to go. What I'm going to do, just so that you know what you need for all these cards, I'm going to stamp all the animals. So you need, for this card class, you need one each of the animals. So there's my moose. I don't have to put this on a foam pad because this is red rubber and it already has the cling, which gives you a little bit of give. If this was photopolymer, I'd obviously want to use a foam pad under there to make sure that I was stamping really well and getting in all the grooves as I was pressing it onto my paper. So this is the bear. And I don't know about you, but I think this guy, oh, I should have done a better job stamping him. I just missed a little bit of his bum there. Oh, well. The good thing is, with the magic of TV, I'm still ahead of the game. Now I'm going to do the owl right there. Isn't that owl just so cheerful? And my favorite, of course, I don't have a favorite really. I think the moose could be my favorite. Hi, Joanne. Thank you for joining. I hope you like these cards as much as I do. I'm going to show them all again in just a second. But anyway, right now I'm just stamping what everybody needs in order to do this class. You need all 4 of the animals, and then you need 2 trees. These are the ones that are die cut. There are other things that you will need as you go along. Actually, for this entire class, besides a few colors of blends, you really do only need 2 classic ink pads, the pool party, because you need to add a little bit of ice onto one of your skating moose, and you need the garden green just to stamp some trees. And I sure hope you guys can't hear Minnie up there making a ruckus. I told Chris before I came down that I was going on my Facebook Live, hoping that he'd keep her quiet, but I bet he has headphones on and he's not paying attention. Okay, so that's really all you need. And what you're going to do with these is color them in. But I'm going to do that with the ones I've already die cut. But I am going to show you that for these trees, you take your pecan pie, tomato, right? And you're just going to fill in with the non-brush side, more of the tip, the writing tip type of thing. You're just going to fill in the stem of your trees. But I don't need to do that right now because since I am a magic genie with my magic lamp, I'm going to stir things up and, uh-oh. Now that is what I call funny. Maybe I will have to die cut everything. Where in the world? Oh, here it is. Wrong envelope. So magic that I don't even have a handle on it. Here's all my pieces already die cut and ready to go. And they die cut so easily, so beautifully. Okay. So let's get this out of the way. I forgot that envelope was probably for the card that I've started making. Okay, so since we're doing the owl, let's color in the owl. And it's super easy. We have our Stampin' Blend. You know what I'm going to do? I have some Christmas paper here, some festive Christmas grid paper, and we're going to use that underneath here. Oh, do you see it happening already? I'm already getting out of control here. I hope you're keeping up though. Okay, so I've got my owl. What he's going to do is wear a very festive Santa cap. You can tell when your blends are ready to be replaced when they kind of color outside the line, right? When they get a little fuzz at the end and they kind of color outside the line. This one, we're still okay for a little bit, but not for long. So you need your real red blends. You're going to need your Daffodil Delight, and this Daffodil Delight definitely needs to be replaced. I'm using that just for the beak. I'm not going to use it for his feet, even though I could. And the other thing I'm going to use is my light crumb cake. And he's kind of a snowy owl, I've decided. So what I'm going to do with the light crumb cake is just kind of color where Stampin' Up! Has given me lines and told me this is a good place to add some color. So around his face, just like that, right at the top of his head. We're going to do it right here to his wing, his belly, a little bit under, just like that. See how easy this is? We're not adding a lot. I'm just adding a little bit. And I'm adding it to his feet just because I really don't want to call attention to his feet. It's not what it's all about today. It's not about feet. So we got that. And then I have to show you, and this is probably not my light flirty flamingo. Oh, yes, it is. I gave my owl some cheeks, and I might take my color lifter just to remove it a little bit. But here we have, I'm just going to add a little bit of pink to the cheek, just like that, because my owl is super happy. Let's use the color lifter a little bit to lighten it. Just like that. And what I'm going to do is add him to the side of my tag, which I need to stamp. So let's stamp our tag first. And do you know that there is the perfect tag in this to see? Oh, hi, Carrie. So good to see you. Thank you for joining me. I haven't seen Carrie in a dog's age, or an owl's age, or a moose's age, or you name it age. So excited to see you today. We have the perfect sentiment for our set here. I will be thinking of you this season. Of course, the play on the words. Let's see how I can do here. When I put my stamps on my block, I make sure that they're straight so that if I can't see the stamp, like this with a red rubber, I can at least trust my block. So I'm going to do that again, just like this. Hopefully I do it straight after all that talking. There we go. If you put it on straight, it tends to stamp straight. Isn't that fun? I just realized what I don't have. And it's only one thing, and maybe I can do without it. I don't have a cleaner. Okay, so I've got that. Because this is going on my card, and the white is going to get lost, even though it's popped up a little bit, I decided that what I wanted to do was add a little bit of garden green around my edges. So this is a fun technique to add a little bit of quick color. I'm just going to drag it through, and you don't have to be crazy about it because even a little bit is going to show up. So I'm dragging it through my ink. I'm going to try not to get my hands in that because next thing you know, your white card or your white envelope tends to take on a green tint. So this is all I have, and I don't know if you can see it. You really can't see it, but because it's on a white card, I'm going to be able to pop this up and have a little bit, just enough of a variation that it doesn't blend into the card and get lost. So that's what we're doing here. I'll do a couple of dimensionals. Just like that. I think that's enough. And I'm going to put this right in the center, just like that. And then I've got my sweet owl friend. I'm going to call my owl Ollie. Help me remember this, because when I go back and talk at the end, I'm going to say, now what did I call him? We're calling him Ollie. Okay. So we're going to go just like that. Pop him up just like that. The rest of the card is pretty simple, but I do have to show you one more thing. But let me build the card here. There are a lot of die cuts to this, but it's not that terrible. This, by the way, is a 2 inch by 4 inch piece of basic white. And that's one of the Nested Essential dies. I think it's the third smallest, but I could be wrong. It could be the second smallest. But it's 2 by 4 by the time, kind of the finished size, okay? I always use Post-it notes to keep track of my die cuts because they tend to take off. I was looking at this the other day, and there's actually 2 bow pieces on here. And if you line them up just right, they are still offset a little bit. What you need to do is do the bigger on top of the smaller. If you do the smaller on top of the bigger, it just kind of doesn't, well, you know, I'm not sure, but I think it's just not as great. You know what? You could do either. How did I do it on this card? Oh, and I cut the wrong green. This is the, oh, is this Old Olive? I meant to cut this Granny Apple Green, and instead I think I cut Old Olive. So this is going to be a little bit different. I just noticed. Okay. Well, that's my first mistake. Yes, Carrie, far too long is right. Maybe at one of these on stages we will catch up. I'm so excited. I got to see Rose recently when we went to Houston. It was fun to connect with her. Vicki, I will see in a couple of weeks. Lori came to my class yesterday, my Stamp-A-Stack. See, I think I like it the other way, but that's okay. Let me just add a little bit. I also think I like the other green better, so for any of you getting this kit, if you don't like this green, let me know and I'll swap it out because my mistake. I have my bow, and this bow was part of, it actually goes with the packages, but I decided to accent my swag here with a little bit. Let's put, you know what? I'm going to add to that instead of to the bow because I know how I make a mess. Cute, huh? Oh, and then of course, last but not least, Ollie's bow tie. So just put a dab of glue. All you need is a dot for this. You don't need a lot. When you're adding glue, a little goes a long way with this glue, let me tell you, because the rest is going to be all over your fingers. Okay, that's the front of the card, and the back of the card is very simple. Let me show you the middle. So this middle is a 3-inch by 11-inch piece of basic white cardstock. I didn't use the thick. I thought it would be too bulky. But let me show you how to put that on and how we're going to attach this. It is scored at 2 inches, and then I flipped it over. Actually, it's like this. I scored it at 2 inches, and then I flipped it over and I scored it again at 6.5 inches. The reason you do that is because when you're folding, you want to fold into the mountain in the middle, okay? So that's important to know. Okay, so what we're going to do next is pull out my base here. And this is such an easy card thing to do. So if you remember 3 by 11, you score it at 2 inches and 6.5 inches. What I'm going to do is add some glue. Remember, not a lot, just a little. You put too much, it's going to go all over. I'm going to center this in the middle of my card back. So this is the inside, this is my back card base, just like that. And then the next thing I'm going to do, well, I think I'm going to decorate it first, and then I'll show you the last part that we're going to do. So I think, what did I do? Oh, I have a piece of designer paper here. This is half an inch by 4.5 inches. Why is it 4.5 inches? It should be 4 inches, I guess, huh? Let me see. Here's my ruler. Believe it or not, I've got that next to me. Okay, so maybe it's not really 4.5. It is 4.5 inches, and I cut it longer. Okay, let me attach it to, let me cut it at 4.5 inches. So I've got my 4.5 inches. Oh boy. I'm going to cut that off, hopefully straight. Just like that. Okay, I have a feeling that wasn't straight. What I'm going to do is just put this right at the bottom. And I could have done the red and white stripe, which is what I intend. Oh, I could still do the red and white stripe. Let's do the red and white stripe this time. Yeah, I'm going to take my X-Acto knife. Don't forget that we have, I think one of the new tips is the X-Acto knife. Okay, I can't leave that like that. So before it completely dries, let me just cut that off. Okay, perfect. Okay, 4.5 inches. I tell you 4.5, I cut it at 5. How about that? We've got that at the bottom. And then we are going to put a pile of presents here. And I have to look at how I built this up. Isn't this so fun? So we use some red glimmer paper. This is part of the festive glimmer paper. It's actually cherry cobbler, but fits with red, fits with cherry cobbler. So we're going to do our present stack. And I'm going to do that here on this side of the paper. So I die cut my presents, and they're part of the dies that are in there. I'm going to put this like right there. You don't have to do this if you don't want. And I already die cut my tree. Remember, that was one of the things that I did early on. You don't have to do that. Okay, I've got all of my, I've got all my other pieces here. Isn't this fun? So I'm going to take out my, we're going to go like this. Let's see if this is going to work. Let's see how good I am at this, judging where this should go. You could put it in the back. Your other option when you're doing this is to die cut with adhesive sheet, and then you don't have a mess like I do. It's nice and neat. You're going to need 2 long presents and 1 short present, and you're going to need the coordinating. See, I'm going to try this one the other way. You're going to need the coordinating ribbons, and then of course the bows. So I'm going to attach my ribbons. It's the wrong side of the paper, but you know what? Since I just did it, that's what it is. I put it on the wrong side. Well, this wrapping paper has some texture. And last but not least, the ribbons for my square present. This is the longest card, I think, guys, except for coloring on the other ones. This is probably the longest card to prep. Okay, so stay with me because I'm having so much fun with you guys. Okay, we're going to put that right there. And then we're just going to add, see, we have a nice pile of presents. I wish I had a sled to put them on. Wouldn't that be fun? We'd have a sled. Let's see, I'm going to put a dot of glue. You know what? I put it at the top of the present. We're going to put it at the bottom of the, you know, in the middle where the bow goes. I'm going to take one of my pieces here. Oh, you know, I figured out what else I don't have, and that's going to be a problem. I don't have my take your pick tool. Okay, so we got this. I promise the other cards are quicker. Otherwise, you guys might be here with me through supper time. Supper time, of course, for people on the East Coast is not very long from now. And just so you guys know, it is getting dark here already. And it's also getting cold. I don't know if you noticed. I didn't want that to... you know, I should have gloves on for this sometimes. I'm telling you. I'm going to put this at the top like I did before, because I kind of like that. My bow like there. It's good weather for turtlenecks. It's getting to be. It's also good weather for soup, and I made some great butternut squash soup this weekend. I'm so excited. Great butternut squash soup. You know, I'm a little worried that when I close this, it's going to stick to the other side, and we'll see what's going to happen, but oh well. Okay, so like I said, I already die cut this. Let's color this with my Pecan Pie Blend real quick. I just want to color this, the stem, the trunk of my Charlie Brown tree. And then I had popped him up for my other card. I don't think I'm going to pop him up because he's already thick enough. So let's not pop him up. We're just going to put him here on the card. So we'll go like that, just like that. How fun. And then another one of the dies is a little star. So I cut out some Daffodil Delight stars just to put at the top of the tree. So let's do that real quick. And then we're just going to attach this to the front of the card and hope that this does not stick. The front is going to go just like this. I'm going to add adhesive right here. This is the best way to make sure that it's going to be straight. I'm going to go like this. And I'm going to line up the front and back just like that. And then, like magic, my card base is attached. So there you go. I'll have to use some adhesive remover because just like I was afraid of, my presents are getting going to be stuck to my thing, but it stands up nicely. The only other thing I need, oh my goodness, guys, I've got my take your pick tool too. So far, the only thing I'm missing is my cleaner. So how did I do the peppermints? I did one big peppermint at the bottom here. I did a medium peppermint right down here. I did another medium peppermint up here, along with a small peppermint. And if you have the peppermints, you can go to town with these, right? If you don't, and we like to do an odd number, so I'll put one more peppermint up here in the corner. So we've got our peppermint embellishments, and then the only thing I need to do is, because it doesn't need too much more, I'm just going to do a ribbon knot. Since this was the ribbon included in your kit, we're just going to do a quick ribbon knot. There we go. And we are going to put this on with a glue dot. And so far, by being prepared, I have had everything that I have needed to complete this card without running off camera. Ta-da! Isn't that great? So, I hope you enjoyed this first card. Easy peasy. It looks harder than it is. So, I'll put that there. And let's see what our next card is going to be. The next card is going to be the moose. Now this is Judy's card, and I love what she did with it. I'm not somebody that does things off a little wonky, and it's not really all that wonky. Just this side piece. This is our piece, our skating moose. So this is one of my favorite cards. Actually, the bear is too. Actually, the owl is too. If we're counting boxes, well, then the mouse is too, right? Let's start with the inside. So you've got a couple of great patterns with this Take a Bow paper. And we're going to do the checked one here with the red and green checks. It wouldn't quite be Argyle, but that's kind of the thing. This is a 5.5 by 8.5 inch card base, our usual measurement. And we scored it at 4 1/4. You could do it either way. I kind of like the other way because this gets a little bit lost in there. We got that like that. And we're just going to do things a little bit differently and put this inside our card base. So if you're doing this, oh my goodness, I let my camera lapse. Oh, Laura, thank you for joining me. Yeah, the fact that I have everything next to me, I am rocking it. You better believe it. We have our insert here, 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. So this is a 1/4 inch less than our mat, our designer paper mat. So we're going to go like this, just like that. And I'm just going to center this inside my card. That's all I need to do there. If I wanted to stamp something inside, like my tree, I am going to stamp a tree, now that I think about it. Let me get the Garden Green ink pad. Again, like I said, you only need 3 ink pads. Memento, the Garden Green, and Pool Party to do this whole thing. I shouldn't have attached this yet. So I'm going to have to make sure I don't stamp off of the white. What we're going to do is we're going to stamp off. We're going to stamp one full-strength tree, just like that. We'll stamp another one kind of to the side and a third one right down there, just like that. And voila, there we go. I'll want my pecan pie Stampin' Blend just to color in the one, just like that. And that's all we need to do. And that is our card inside, all decorated up. Okay, so let's do the front of it. The front is, again, 4 by 5 1/4 inches. This is our standard mat. If you have a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch front, our standard mat is usually a 1/4 inch smaller. It's 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And let's attach that to our card front. Everybody has a favorite adhesive. Mine just happens to be the glue. And I mean, I love it to pieces. Love it to pieces. I really haven't gotten attached or even given the Seal or Seal Plus a chance because I just love my glue. So why change it, right? We're going to next do this layer. This is 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches, another 1/2 inch. This is fun too, the red and white polka dots. But we're going to use the red and white polka dots, which is actually, like I said, the reverse of this, for the rest where we put our little panel here. So stay tuned for that. Okay, I'm going to attach this just like that. Just like that. If I cut it straight, I should be able to center it straight, right? The next thing we're going to do is take our little panel here. And this panel is 2 inches by 4 inches. And we're going to just put that on here on the front and just offset it a little bit. You see that it has the stripes on the reverse. You are going to need 2 pieces of paper to do this because this 3 3/4 by 5 doesn't give you enough of a leftover piece, so you will need a second piece to do that. And then remember how we did this inside? We're going to repeat this again. We have a 3/4 inch by 4 inch strip, so this is going to go right across here. And it's going to reach from the left side to the right side of the basic white. And I'm going to mount that on a piece of real red cardstock. So let's do that. I'm going to, again, just, oh, that's a lot of glue. I didn't want that much glue. I'm going to just put that in the center of my 1 inch strip, just like that. Oh, so I was talking to you about the, making the soup. I made that this weekend. Let me tell you what else I did this weekend. I had my Stamp Out breast cancer event. I was one of many demonstrators that came. Oh, and I something I didn't tell Laura or Judy or anybody is that I won a raffle prize there that I am so excited about. I'm looking at this. This does not look very straight. That was not a good move. Oh, well. Okay, next I have my 3 inch stylish shape. This is a circle, 3 inches. I think this is the second largest. It could be the largest. I think it's the second largest though. What we're going to use is we're going to use our pool party. Remember I said we're going to use pool party for one of our cards. Well, I've got my blending brush and I am just going to add, I keep turning it so that I get to the bottom. Where am I going to decide is the bottom? I don't know. That's kind of funny. Hi, Stephanie. Thank you for joining me. Oh, Judy, thanks for joining. Tell me if I'm doing your card justice. Okay, so we have our, we're just going to add a little bit of pool party for our ice at the bottom for our skating moose. There we go. And I can actually put this pool party away because I won't be using it anymore for this card. So the blending brush, you'll just need it just for the ice at the bottom of this. Okay, remember I've already die cut my moose. What we have here is a moose wearing a scarf. So let me tell you what blends we're going to use for this. And let me see if I can get it right. We're definitely going to use pecan pie. You know what? I don't think I have my light pecan pie. I see. There had to be something. Is this light pecan pie? Oh, I'm wrong. I have it here. This is actually the dark. This was the light. Okay, so we're going to use light and dark pecan pie. We are going to use some real red, and that we'll use the dark real red for his scarf. I'll use the light old olive, and that's going to be the alternating things of his scarf. We're going to use the smoky slate, and that's for his skates. That's all. And then a little bit of crumb cake just for his antlers. I'm actually going to use, yes, we're going to do that. And I think that's enough. I could use the light and dark, but we're not going to make this complicated. So let's start with the antlers. I'm just going to color them. Oh my goodness. This is a crumb cake marker that needs to be replaced. So I shouldn't be coloring with the writing tip side. I should be coloring with the brush side. So this is going to take me a little bit longer just because I better put this on the next order for sure. So we're going to do most of the antlers. This guy has quite the rack, doesn't he? I had a neighbor that used to go hunting, and his wife let him take out the wall of the basement so they could get the rack of the moose inside so we could hang it on the wall. Now, that would not be happening here, but don't tell Bob that. But seriously, it was the largest, and this was probably, might be 15 years ago now. At the time, it was the largest rack, it was the largest moose that had been hunted in Maine. And yes, I live close enough to Maine that, I don't know, does that look okay? I think so. Okay, so we'll go like that, just like that. And then if I wanted to make it a little bit lighter, I could use my Stampin' Blend. And see, this is, I kind of like, yeah, I didn't do a very good job. I'm not doing a very good job with this guy, Judy. Just like that. I like how she did it a little bit better, and I tried to copy that. Okay, we're going to use the light pecan pie for his body. So let's color him in. We're going to go around, and I could be using the dark as well, and I think I did when I initially colored this guy. I kind of used the dark, and I may go back over it. It doesn't take much to color in, so bear with me. Okay, so I didn't finish telling you about my weekend. So the Stamp Out Breast Cancer event, we did it on Saturday. I was one of many demonstrators. It started out as Celine's event. A lot of you know Celine Kempton. It's an amazing event. That's all I can tell you. It is an amazing event. We have speakers, and this year we were blessed to have Elizabeth Belleville join us. And Elizabeth is the DDM for the Northeast. So it was fun to have her, and she was the one that brought the kits. So my raffle prize was these kits, and this I won the new watercolor kit, the new November watercolor kit. It is amazing. Wait till you guys see this. Okay, we're going to get rid of a little bit. We're going to give him a little bit of texture. I think he should be darker. Any moose that I've ever seen, and I haven't seen a whole lot, but anyone that I have seen, they have definitely been darker than this guy. Okay, let's do the scarf. I'm going to color it in with the real red, and we can alternate the blocks. At our stamping event, I've never talked so much as I am now, but at our stamping event, the new total as of this afternoon is over 19,000. So it is amazing how much money people have donated to make this possible. Our cause is the Making Strides Against Breast Cancer event. It's a part of the American Cancer Society, and they not only do education, but they also do help with transportation of patients. And of course, we have Dana-Farber here, so that's a great big hospital, cancer teaching hospital. Of course, they can come here to our Beth Israel Hospital too, but they come from all over, and Making Strides makes it possible to do that. Okay, let's get our light crumb cake. Is that this one? I'm going to just do his snout. I am going to, there we go. Not terrible. Almost done, guys. We're going to color in his skates. And his skates, I'm going to do light smoky slate. I could also use, usually, and the reason I'm saying light and dark is because usually if you have smoky slate, you're going to have the light and the dark, aren't you? Because they come as a combo pack. We'll do the blades. I should do them with some Wink of Stella, but we're running out of time because I'm still only on the second card. And of course, his socks. Okay, this time he's wearing red socks. He's a flashy sort of guy. So he's going to wear red socks under his skates, just like that. Oh, so cute. So cute. Okay, I'm going to put him on, okay, I need my other pieces here. I'm going to put him on my card front. So what I want to do is make sure that I can see my ice is at the bottom, first of all. Let's do the ice at the bottom. You guys want to tell me to step it up a little bit? You can tell me, but I'm having a good time. It's kind of the first time in a while today that I've had a good time. That's not true. I've had a good time all day today. That wasn't a nice thing to say. I have just been busy writing tutorials and die cutting and doing all sorts of things. I did get my oil change today. Okay, I need my dimensionals here. So we're going to put some dimensionals on the back of this guy. I didn't give him a name. Somebody want to give me a name for my moose? Hi, Cindy. Welcome. Thank you for joining. I'm having such a fun time creating using the Christmas Friends. I'm telling you, Christmas Friends is so fun. And I don't know about you guys, but I find coloring very therapeutic. So we'll do it just like that. I'm going to put him, he's up in the air. That's not a great idea. And I'm going to use again pecan pie, color in the stem of my tree, and we're going to pop up this tree right next to him. I should have had him closer. I don't know what I was thinking. Well, I'm thinking that I still have to get my label. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Okay, let's pop up this tree, and then I got to stamp my label. So I need my Memento ink to stamp my Happy Holidays in just a second. So let's do this. Just like that. Okay, so we have a 3/4 inch, I think it said 3 inches. This might be 3 inches, but I feel like 2.5 inches is even plenty big. You've got just 3/4 of an inch by 2.5 inches or so old olive for our label. And we're going to stamp Happy Holidays. So I'm just going to hopefully try to do this. You know what? I'm going to stamp over here. Is that okay? It's not terrible. I could turn it over, you know. That's why we have two sides. I'm not standing up, so that's kind of hard. That's a little better. For those of you that still have this retired punch, I have found that this punch is great to hang on to make some straight banners. So we're going to slide it in our track, and I'm going to punch it, and that piece of paper is never to be found again. It went flying over the end of my table there. I'm going to just trim this down with my paper snips. They're not really my paper snips, are they? Don't tell anybody. These are my counterfeit paper snips, because I took my paper snips to my event the other day, and they're still in my bag. We're going to use our ribbon. And where did I put my ribbon? Ribbon is right here, and we're just going to make a faux bow. Now, a faux bow is just not a real bow, right? So we're going to do it just like we're going to loop it. And it's too bad, because I do real bows much better than I do faux bows. Seriously. What we're going to do is attach this to the back, kind of right there, to the back of our label. And you know what I'm going to use is some tear and tape. And I couldn't find my regular tear and tape. This tear and tape was actually left over from one of my card kits. It might have been from the Nests of Winter paper pumpkin, and I don't know if you guys got that, but boy, oh boy, was that a great paper pumpkin or what. Of course, I'm a bird watcher. That helps. We're going to go just like that. And I'm not going to take the tape off, because I'm going to use my dimensionals to pop up my label. So let me pull in my dimensionals. We'll put one on each end. Well, that's the idea. One on each end. Oh, I went dark again. Watching myself. Okay. I met Cindy on one of our trips to Lansing. I have to tell you the impression that she made. We were sitting next to each other. I think we were flying from, I don't know, we were probably flying from Lansing to I don't know, probably Chicago or something, because I think Cindy lives in Texas, if I'm not mistaken. And we were talking about our dogs, and she was saying how she had a teapot Yorkie because her little dog had to be put on a diet because it was so round. And I just thought that was the funniest thing. Well, I've heard that her teapot Yorkie is in much better shape, but let me tell you, I have a teapot Shih Tzu right now because Mickey just loves to eat. Okay, so there we go. The only thing that we have to do yet is find our embellishments. I'm stalling here because where did I put my embellishments? I know they're here on the table because I just used them. Here they are. And here's my take your pick tool. Again, to add them, I'm going to do a large one. I love using, everybody has their own favorite. I love using the putty side. So I'm going to put a big one right there. You know, I've got another big one over here. Why can't I put one over there? Let's see. I'm going to put that up here. And then we will just put a little one. Could go anywhere. Let's put it right there. How fun. So we've decorated our card. Isn't that a beautiful card? And you guys can make this. You guys can get this. It's not a hard card because all the pieces are going to be already cut for you. You'll just need the stamp set. And if you don't get the dies, you're going to have to fussy cut these guys. And the dies do a really good job cleaning, you know, die cutting. So I think you're going to want the whole bundle. And get it before it goes on low inventory. I have to tell you a funny story. Every time I buy something or feature something, it goes on low inventory. So I like to think that I have a lot of clout with Stampin' Up. I don't, but I like to think it. Isn't that funny? Okay. Still waiting to hear. Let's see. What you think I should call my moose? I didn't get a name yet, guys. We need a name. I have here my next card with the bear. And the reason I have my bear here, my big long piece of designer paper, is because I'm going to show you something fun for cutting this. So initially, this card base right here is 6.5 inches by 5.5 inches. So you're going to score it at the regular 4 1/4 inches, which gives you a 2 1/4 edge right here. If you got your kit, it might be more like a 2-inch edge, but we fixed that since in the tutorial. So you've got that, and then you are going to add a 2-inch by 5 3/8 inch piece of designer paper on that panel. So I've got all this cut. So first of all, like I said, 6.5 inches by 5.5 inches, and you score it at 4 1/4 inches. We have a fun inside again. Let's do our inside. This is where I have to cut so that I can show you what I'm going to do with this. We have this 3/4 inch strip at the bottom of our paper. So this here is 5 1/4 inches, right? So let me get my paper cutter out and I'll show you. If you've got your 5 1/4 inches out of a 6-inch piece of paper, what does that leave you? If you're going to say 3/4 of an inch, ding, 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 you're right. So we have that, and we're going to use that on the inside. And then, of course, my basic white on the inside, I have to cheat because I can't remember. The basic white on the inside is 3.5 by 4.5 inches. So we've got my 4 by 5 1/4 inches. We're going to put on this piece of basic white, 3.5 inches by 4.5 inches. And because this is 3.5 inches, I'm going to cut this strip down to 3.5 inches, okay? So let's do that. Oh, I thought Chris had gotten Mickey out of there, or Minnie out of there. Yep, I have a Mickey and a Minnie. Mac. Love it, Joanne. Mac the Moose. Of course. Mac the Moose. So we've got Mac and Ollie so far hanging out for Christmas Eve. Okay, I'm going to put this at the bottom of my basic white piece of cardstock. That's so funny. Mac could hang out with Mickey and Minnie. And do you know who Mickey and Minnie's friend is next door? You got it. It's Mookie. And down the street, we've got Molly. And then we've got 2 Maggies in the neighborhood yet. I'm not even kidding. You can't make this stuff up, right? We also have a Brady and a Daisy. And Daisy is Minnie's arch enemy. I don't know what it is, but they growl at each other and they've never even gotten close enough to meet. But this, I think that Minnie is 11 years old, and I probably think that Daisy is about 9 years old. And this feud has been going on for years. Serious. Crazy, crazy. Okay, I'm going to glue this inside. And like I said, this was the leftover of the bottom of this piece of 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, okay? So we're going to glue that inside. So we got a fancy inside. Probably time for my clock to sing soon, isn't it? Oh yeah, any second my clock is going to start singing. I have a feeling for these things, you know? For this front, like I said, this piece is 1 7/8 by 5 3/8. If you cut it at 6 1/2 inches and score it at 4 1/4, though, your piece is going to be a perfect 2 inches, which means you can make 3 cards out of your 1 sheet of paper, right? So what we're going to do here is add this to our card front. And it just has a little 1/16 of an inch border there, just a tiny, tiny border, just like that. We need our bear. It's a Christmas clock because you guys know I love Christmas. This is my favorite, favorite, favorite time of year. Okay, I'm going to try and ignore it. I don't do very well ignoring things once I pay attention, but this piece of basic red is 3 5/8 by 4 5/8, okay? And you got it. This piece of cardstock pool party that we're going to put on is 3 1/2 by 4 1/2 inches. So this is 1/8 of an inch less, which leaves you a 1/16 inch border on all 4 sides. I embossed this with the Snowflake Snowfall embossing folder. And I'm sure you guys have it, but if you don't, the way Stampin' Up! Does things, I have a feeling this one is going to go out this year. You've got your concentrated snow at the bottom and it's lighter at the top. You can choose if you want to do it so that it's all concentrated. And that's kind of what, I think that's, is that what I did? I must have embossed it this direction. But you can choose how heavy you want your snow to fall. I've already embossed it because, of course, we're going to run out of time. Don't you love watching me do this for an hour and a half? But I'm telling you, aren't you impressed? I still have not had to move out of my seat. I'm going to have to tell this to my son because he's going to say, wow, Mom, you're kidding me. What I'm going to do with this is going to be under my basic white inside here is going to be hidden behind this panel. And this is our gift card holder. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to put a very thin layer of glue at the bottom of here. And this is what I gleaned from what Monica did. This is Monica's card, and Monica is very good at these extraordinary fancy fold cards. And then what we're going to do is get our dimensionals. Well, they can't be far. Get this out of the way. We're going to get our dimensionals that are, well, we're going to have to use these dimensionals. I think I lost some dimensionals in the process. Yeah, don't want to do that. Oh, there they are, right next to me, of course. Okay, we're going to put a dimensional on the top here, just like that. And we're going to put another one at the bottom. And that's the only place, and let's hope I put the snowfall. Yeah, it's not bad. I was going to say, that's the only place that I am going to add adhesive here. And what I'm going to do is center this on my card front, just like this. Just like that. We'll add, make sure that is going to be good and attached. And then look at what happens. Now you have your gift card holder. And because you glued it there, it's going to stay just like that. Isn't that cool? You know what? First of all, it helps if you take the cover off of your dimensionals. And I think I could probably, I'm going to add another dimensional right there on the side now that I see that. It's so funny. I'm like, why is my gift card holder so loose? Because I didn't finish the process. And we're going to put that there. Okay, you can see what I did there. Let's take this out. We're going to attach that like that. And now this is going to slide right in. And there, voila, we have our Dunkin' Donuts gift card holder. Of course, I don't drink Dunkin' Donuts anymore. So if you guys are going to get me a gift card, I don't know. I don't do Starbucks anymore. I've been doing K-Cups that I've been making them in the beginning of the, in the morning and taking them, and they last me about half a day. Okay, this here is I think this is, yeah, this is a 3 1/4 inch circle. Now, was thinking that I took this die out of one of my retired ones, and what was I going to do without it? Well, guess what? It's actually in the Christmas Friends die set. So it's one of your bundle. I've got all my pieces already done. I've actually used 2 dies that are not part of this bundle, and you can substitute anything you want. But with Granny Apple Green, we die cut the smallest of the Merriest Trees. And I'm going to just put that on my circle right now. So it's Merriest Trees is the die set. You can do any tree set you want, but I kind of like how he's fat and stocky. That's my favorite part of it. When I put this on the card, I didn't put it on straight, so I'm really trying to pay attention to that here. I've already die cut my boughs, and these are plain old olive. And, the last time I did it little on top of big, now we're going to do it big on top of little, because I do think that I like that better. But you can decide which is better. And you know what? I bet Stampin' Up! Has a video for this stamp set so that you could do whichever one whatever they say, because obviously they know better than I do. So we're going to line up these bow you can't do it that way. It does have to do the other way. I don't know what I was thinking. You can't do it. It's hidden if you do it the other way, I think. So I'll have to, maybe I'll add some peppermints where I have the adhesive there. So, and actually I do have my bow. You know what works really well when you have something like this so it doesn't go all over your paper? Because now I've got a nice sticky paper. You want to have your silicone mat. And I'm off camera again, so there we go. I'm a little behind, but okay, so we're going to put the bow on top of our bow, or swag, whatever you want to call this, right? We're going to put this right on top, and it's, of course, going to be a perfect match because it's made for the set, right? And we are going to put this on top of our circle. So I'm going to glue it so that it is hopefully straight right there. I'm going to add a little dot. I could add a couple little dots, just a couple. Ta-da. Okay, I'll use my adhesive eraser later. We're going to add a little present next to the tree. So we've already cut a square present, and we've got our ribbons and bows. So thank you for staying with me, guys. I'm having so much fun, and you are probably cooking supper or doing something at the same time. But the fact that you're tuning into me or coming back and forth or whatever just makes my day. So, okay, adding that. We'll just add, I'm going to put the bow at the top here. It looks a little bit better than in the middle. I don't know why. Just like that. And we'll add it. Whew, my hands are getting sticky now, so everything is sticking to me. I'm gonna add that to our tree right down there. And then hopefully I can let it go and unstick myself. The only other thing I have to do is add, it was here a second ago. Oh, here it is, wrong thing. My star to the top of my tree. So with that die cut that we have, you actually can cut 3 stars at a time. So you can put them up in your sky, you can put them on top of your tree, you can do whatever you want. Let's do our bear, and he's going to be really easy to color again. He won't take me as long as my moose did for sure. We're going to use our needs to be replaced crumb cake, just like that. I'm going to follow the lines that Stampin' Up! Gave me. A little bit on his feet, a little bit on his feet, a little bit around his neck, just like that. Cute. And then we are going to use the light old olive. Is this dark old olive? Yes, this is light old olive. I used a darker one and I like the light better. So we're going to just color, and we're going to color around it looks like bubbles on here, but I think they're supposed to be berries. So we're going to color around our wreath. And one thing that I noticed when I was coloring, just to let you guys know, it's actually behind his head, on the other side of his neck too. So don't miss everything. So I did up top there. It's also a tiny bit right there in the corner. So isn't that cute? Oh my goodness, it looks like it even might be right there. Okay, so we got that. We've got our Real Red, and we're just going to do some berries. Just fill in those. Do. I guess that's good enough. Oh, and his neck band, his neck bow. Coloring him with Real Red. See, you can make this guy a polar bear. You can make him a brown bear. You can make him a black bear. We were driving back from Albany, was it last year or 2 years ago? Oh, maybe it was longer than that, because both kids were in the car. And they saw a mama bear and 2 cubs right off the Mass Pike. Now, wouldn't you know it, that sounds great, but unfortunately, I didn't see it. So I can't say that I know what a bear looks like in the wild. My husband has seen them. He worked up in Maine, commuted back and forth to Maine a couple of years when I was still working my nights at the hospital and the kids were young. And he would see brown bears in his woods all the time. Okay, we're going to put this guy right there. And then I'm going to glue it to my... Oh, I did something wrong. Okay. I did something wrong. I forgot. Before you attach this blue, you're supposed to tie a ribbon bow around it before you attach it to the red. I totally forgot. Totally forgot. And we've glued it down. So, you know what? We're going to just do a nice big ribbon bow that hopefully I won't knock off. See how I like to make my bows. Big floppy bow. This ribbon is a little tough, but a little fun to use because it is so thick. It's kind of a messy bow, like it's almost like a messy hair bun or a messy a ponytail or something, right? I'm going to attach this right over here on the side. And then I will pop up my thing just like that. Am I going to pop it up? It's already popped up there. I think I'm going to just, because I didn't add my bow underneath, I think I'm going to leave it flush with the card here. So the only other thing I have to do for this one is stamp my sentiment. This is one of our Greetings of the Season tags. Very fun tag set. If you are going to use it as a sentiment, what you're going to want to do is make sure you hide your hole with an embellishment. So that's what we're going to do. So You know what? I got to stand up for this one. Let's do this. It's a little crooked, but you know, it's a handmade card and I'm not going to do it again. We're going to pop this up with a dimensional or two. Just like that. This card is almost done. Then we just have to make our box. And our box is super fun and super easy. Oh boy. You know what? Okay, what's the bear? It's a polar. Paula the polar bear. What do you think? Does that work? What we're going to do, got so much going on here, it's making me crazy. Sorry. We're going to take your pick tool, and we're first of all going to cover up our hole with our, I'm going to use a medium. I don't think we need a big one. Yeah, could have used a big one, I guess. What else? We're going to decorate our tree. So we've got a couple of little ones that we're going to throw on our tree. Just like that. Just like that. Maybe a medium one here. Maybe a medium one there. It's so much fun when you've got them. If you don't have them, you use them sparingly. But I have a bunch of these. So you would even, if you did this craft kit in the mail, you know, this card class to go, I still have some to share with you. So, okay, so I've done a couple. Let's do a couple more. And this, then we'll call it quits. So we have 7 on here. So it's an odd number. Isn't that fun? Oh, great card. Oh, I forgot. I wanted to add the bow. I think it needs the bow. It needs the messy hair bow. Just like that. And you can't even tell that I totally forgot it, can you? It looks like I remembered. Don't tell anybody. Okay, so there we go. Voila. That's, I don't know, which one do you like? Do you like the dark one or do you like the light one? I went a little overboard with the peppermints, but this one, of course, I stamped straight, and this one I did not, but that's okay. Handmade card. Last card, let's get to this box real quick. It's really super easy. There's 2 parts to the box. There's an inside and an outside. If you guys are going along with me, you like the light one? I agree, Joanne. I do too. I agree. Do you like Paula for the name? Because I like Paula. Okay. Paula the polar bear. Penelope the polar bear. Penelope. I don't know. Okay. We'll have to think on that. Okay, so there's 2 parts to this box. There is a cover. This is the cover. And then we have the inside box. Stampin' Up! Did all of the work for you. You've got all the score lines, all of them. You also have all the tear and tape that you need. So what you're going to do to form the inside box, and we're going to actually do some stamping before I do that, because I hopefully, I do not. Okay, I have my first thing that I do not have here. I had a piece, let me show you the box here, 2.5 by 3.5, no, 2 1/4 by 3.5. This is real red and it's in the base, and I can easily add this layer later, so that's okay. But I stamped it in Memento, the Happy Holidays and the tree, okay? And then I just put it in the base. You can do this after, so we're going to do this after. Let me show you how we're going to put together this box. We're going to fold in the tabs, fold in the tabs, fold in, fold in. You're folding on all the score lines, just like that. And then you're going to fold in again, just like that. We're folding it again. Next, I'm going to put in my tabs, just like this. And then we're going to go like this, and then this is going to go over, and our strong, and this is really strong tear and tape, by the way, is going to fold right over the edge and hold this box in place. So really all I needed, and this is good to know for my boxes when I make them from scratch, all I really need is 2 pieces of tear and tape. So, and see how fast this box went together? I don't know if they're on low inventory or not. They should be, because I have 7 packages of them. I just love these boxes. Okay, it's a book box. Okay, so then next what we have is our cover. This has a couple of pieces of tear and tape here, and it has 1 here. Do not, for the way I'm going to show you, do not remove the cover of the tear and tape here. You're just going to remove those when we put our box on, but we're going to decorate it first. So let's decorate our box. We have these designer paper pieces. Oh, I didn't write down the measurements. Okay, the measurements are 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. You're going to cut 2 pieces, 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. And I've chosen mine to be white, to be red, I mean. Red. These are the red on a white box. See, I get distracted easily. I have this, so because they're 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, across one piece of paper, I'm going to be able to cover one box, right? 3 3/4 means that I'm not going to be able to get more than one box out of a piece of paper because 3 3/4, there's just not enough left over. I'm going to attach this to the front and back just like this. Now I could round my corners if I wanted to. We're not going to be that particular today. Besides, my trio punch that rounds my corners is retired, so we'll just stick with this. Okay, so 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. That's for the front and the back. Then I have one more for the spine of my book box, and this is 1 inch by 3 3/4. So 2 3/4 and 2 3/4, of course, is going to give you 5 1/2. And then you still have, no, I must have used the bottom of this now that I'm thinking about this, because it wouldn't, this is a full inch and it wouldn't give me enough to have it left over from here. So no, now that I'm thinking about the math, that doesn't work. That's not what I did. I used the leftover off the bottom for this. So here we go. And because this is non-directional, I can use both, you know, either direction from when I cut it, right? Okay, next we have, so this has to be, because I'm going to flip this over and put this over my box, this has to be, the flap has to go on the bottom, in the back. So let's do that. Now I have my tag, and what I'm going to do for my tag, I don't know, why do I have an extra tree left over? Because I don't think, did I pop up my tree? Nope, I did not pop up my tree, so I don't know why I have an extra tree left over. Oh, so the next thing I'm going to do before I glue things together, it is possible to do it after I attach the book. But what I'm going to do is, oh, let's go like this. We're going to make a bow, and you could do a knot if you don't like bows, do a knot. It's okay. I'm going to make a bow for my spine of my book because mine is a fancy book box. This would easily fit, you could do all sorts of things in here. You could easily, we included Hershey Kisses, and like I said, mine will eventually have candy cane Hershey Kisses because they're my favorite. The white with candy cane chips, just love them. But you could do a couple, I think Lindt would be too high, the truffles. You could do a couple of the snack size bars, you know, like the Snickers for the people that get hangry at work. You could give them a couple of Snickers in there. Definitely the Ghirardelli squares would fit in there. I bought some holiday mints on Amazon, and you could do that with some mini candy cane. So there are lots of options. This is a really good size box. Not to mention the fact that I think a gift card holder, you know, you could do it as a gift holder too, a gift card holder. Okay, so let me just cut my string here, and then I still have to color my mouse. Getting there, getting there. We're going to stamp our tree again in Garden Green, and I have that right here. Garden Green ink, and what I'm going to do is do it to the right side of my label. This is one of the Countryside Corners labels. I got that there. Okay. Of course, because my tree has a trunk again, let's just color in this. We're almost done, guys. Thank you for joining me. Did I tell you that we raised over $19,000 already for our Stamp Out Breast Cancer event? Oh, and did I tell you that we've already figured out what we're doing for our next craft along, by the way? by the way. I love this idea. Our next craft along, I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you a sneak peek of one of our projects. And this is just the one that I made this afternoon. And we're going to make jumbo tags, and we're using a little bit festive kit. And here is my first tag. I really like this one. What do you think of this? Isn't that so pretty? Of course, you know me and Wink of Stella and glitter and you name it. I did the snow in Wink of Stella. I did the trees. I dotted all over the trees. And then I said, oh, that's still not enough sparkle. And I took my Wink of Stella and I just splattered it. So that's what I did. And this is the new online exclusive gold twine. So you're going to want to get that November 1st. You're going to want to sign up for the craft along so you get it for sure. Okay, last but not least, where is my mouse? Here's my mouse, and he's easy to color. I'm just doing him in Smoky Slate. So we're going to just color him really quick in Smoky Slate, just like this. I'm going to leave his ears so that I can do a little bit of the Flirty Flamingo. And this guy, he's a caroler. He is singing his heart out. What would a mouse be that's a caroler? Only thing I can think of is Mickey and Minnie because, of course, they're my dogs. But I'm going to need a name for my mouse, Joanne. Can't think of it. Okay. It should be something with an M. I'm not sure. I'll have to think of that. Mildred, maybe? What do you think, Joanne? Okay, we have our Real Red, and I'm going to use the lighter Real Red for my songbook this time. And then we're going to need, no, that looks too pink. Okay, I'm going to go back over this. This is definitely too pink. I'm going to go back over this with the other one. And I'm going to, I don't know if you noticed or can tell, but I didn't do the spine yet. So we're going to do the bow on our Jingle Bell on my cute Mildred's tail. Just like that. Mary would work. Yes. So we have Ollie and Mac. And I got rid of Penelope. What did I say? Paula and Mary. Okay. Wild wheat. You need wild wheat for the Jingle Bell, just like that, and for the spine of the book, okay? A little bit of Flirty Flamingo, and we're going to do that for his nose. We're going to do that for his ears, her ears, and we're even going to give her some cheeks. So Mary is blushing. Actually, she's just enjoying the cold. Okay, I've got one more piece for you. I didn't need the popped up tree. I don't know what I was thinking. But we do need a couple of a present. Where did I put my present? Oh, the present. And I might have said, I don't know if the present is going to go on our box. So here, it's going to go on our tab. So let's do that real quick before I forget to do it. And you'd think that these guys are anxious for me to be done, but I don't know why, because we've already taken our walks today. 3 of them. These spoiled guys. Okay, we're going to put a, right in the middle, I'll put a dot for my bow. And I decided to do just a simpler bow. I could have done the triple bow, but this is just the simple bow. And what I'm going to do in just a second, I'm going to hopefully not lose this bow, this box, because this is going to go on the flap of my box cover. Let me show you this, though. So part of it, and I don't know why, but it works. It's probably just for this particular reason. We've got a word window, a little word bubble. And you know what we did with our word bubble? We are going to add music notes, which tiny, 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 tiny music notes. So I said in my directions to use the tweezers, but the tweezers are almost too big even. Here, I'm going to pull off my GABA glue here. I'm going to put a dot here. Dot, dot, dot. And we'll see where these guys land. So I cut these out of silver foil. Just like that is one. Number 2. Uh-oh. Well, you know what? Number 2 was on there just a second ago. And I'm probably going to find it in a second. I don't know. But you know what we're going to have to do? I lost my other... That's not the note, so I don't know where it went. It was there, though. And I don't think it's in my plastic. Okay. So we're going to just go like this. And let me use my little stylus here so I can just put this back into place. So there's actually 3 notes that's part of this die set. But alas, one of mine, Mary, went off key because she's missing her note. Well, when you have fat fingers, it's really hard to do this. Okay, so what we're going to do is just pop up our Mary at the bottom of our card. This is almost the end. Hope you're still with me. And I hope you had a great time with this craft along, because I certainly did. Certainly did. Okay. Got my dimensionals on my card. We're going to go like that, just like that. And then, of course, I'm going to pop up my notes, I think. You know what? I'm not going to pop up my notes because they're already, I don't want them to get lost even more than they have the potential to do. So we're just going to lay this down flat. That was way too much glue, by the way. That's not how you do it. If I had an extra star, I'd put that up there, but I don't think I cut a star. So let's put this on our box front. We're going to put this right here. So remember I said the tab is from the back to the front. So we're going to lay this on. Kind of need to look at my... Oh, I forgot a piece of paper. That's why it looks empty. One more strip of paper. This is just 1/2 inch by 3 3/4. And it's just the back side of the red. And we're just going to put that right here on the edge, just for a little variety. Okay, and now let me put my label down. Just like that. And then I'm going to do one more thing. This is where we're going to use our dimensional, but I got to figure it out. We're going to, oh, wait a second. Let's put our box together first. So what we're going to do here is just put this inside. So I'm going to peel off the strips. And it's really easy to peel them off. And I'm going to try to center this as much as I can. Just like that. Like I said, I'm not taking the tape off of this side. What we're going to do is put this like right about here. There we go. Take off our cover. And we are going to, oh, I figured out what else. We're going to go like that. And then we're going to put our box on. Okay. Do as I say, not as I do, guys. I forgot something on the box. We have to stamp Happy Holidays on this label. That's why it's so empty up there. So let me grab my stamp that says Happy Holidays right here. And we're going to pray that I can do this at an angle. Just going to use Memento. If it doesn't work, we'll take it off. Ta-da! Not bad, huh? So I'm going to put this, don't forget, I'll put inside my 2 1/4 by 3 1/4, I believe is what I said for the real red, which is I probably used it as a scrap for a card class this afternoon. We're going to fill our box with our chocolate kisses, just like that. And then we're going to close this. And just like that, voila, there is our box. The only thing missing on this, I guess, are some peppermints. Oh, my Happy Holidays is crooked. It's wonky. But you know what? It's okay. It is okay. Do one up here. And we're going to do one more little one. Not sure where I'm going to put the little one. I'll just put it there. Okay. It's distracting me that it is crooked. But it's so easy to do it straight when you don't put it on the box first. So there's our box. Ta-da. And our 4 cards, our 3 cards. Paula the Bear, Mary the Mouse, Mac the Moose, and Ollie the Owl. So I'll show you this one because this is the one that had the green that I preferred, even though I did it on this one, like I said, with the old olive. You could use either green from the festive set, but okay, let me flip back and say, thank you so much for joining me. Did you have a great time? I hope you did. Oh, John Ross, happy birthday. He's 35 for real. That's cool. Carrie, wonky. Yes, I'm not good at wonky, but I'm trying. I'm very wonky. I'm so glad you got to see me too. We had such a great time, didn't we? Thank you for joining in. Join me next week for a Facebook Live, to be determined. And make sure that you sign up for the next craft along. Don't forget, you can get this class in the mail just by placing an order. And I'll put the link down below. Love you guys. Mwah! Bye. Thank you for joining.